I've been busy this week, so this is more of a kind of an early impressions than a full review because I'm only a couple hours into it. But I've been playing on Gamepass Moonscars, which is a 2D Metroidvania, but heavy on the Vania.
Keep talking, Daddy.
It's published by Humble Games, developed by a studio called Black Mermaid. 2D side-scrolling melee combat fighter with a gorgeous oil painting art style, very gothic grim. You play as a character. Hang on, I need to find the description. This is one of those games where they've taken the Dark Souls imprint of make the law impenetrable, but they've gone too far with it. I have no fucking clue what's going on in this game. You play a character called Grey Irma, who is a Claiborne, sculpted in the image of a great warrior. Cursed with a desperate need for blood, life force absorbed from slain enemies, as well as the need to reunite with her creator, the enigmatic sculptor. Grey Irma must cut a swathe through the formidable opponents and hulking bosses that stand in her way. That's a description I found in a review of it, and that's about as much of the story as I've managed to glean, despite being like 2 hours into it. All the characters talking riddles and talking circular text. You do not play this game for the story.
Do they end every conversation with?
A couple of them do, yeah.
Yeah,
and
I love it when they do that.
And one of them is a giant cat that is totally legally distinct from the Cheshire Cat.
Legally.
But the game is really fucking good. It's very much reminiscent of Symphony of the Night, just without the banging soundtrack. It's got more of a kind of dark ambient soundtrack. The gameplay is a little bit faster than Symphony of the Night, but not quite as fast as, say, something like Dead Cells. But it's kind of in between those two.
Okay. So like Bloodstained a bit. Bloodstained's a bit faster,
yeah, a bit like that. You have a whacking great big sword, which is always a standard thing. Do heavy attacks, do parries, all that kind of thing. As well as that, you can unlock special moves, so like whirlwind strikes or spear strikes or massive hammer strikes. And you get the Dark Soulsy thing. You find these mirrors, which are effectively your bonfires. The thing is, when you rest at a bonfire, it's not so much that you rest at it. You kind of go into the mirror and you shed off your clay form because you're going back to where the sculptor made you or something like that, whatever the story thing is. Thing is, when you come back into the level, that clay form still exists and tries to kill you. So you have to kill yourself. It has all the abilities you had when you rested.
Hollow Knight.
It's very much like a corpse run, but you haven't died, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
So you have to basically fight yourself, but you don't have the special move anymore. It still has it. So to get the special move back, you have to beat it. And it's not...
I'm banging to that.
It's not a particularly hard thing to fight every time, but it's something that it's like... It makes you think about checkpointing because you think, am I going to die further on? Do I need this checkpoint? Because I have to fight a little mini-boss before I do it. You get these they're called witchery powers. So, which is where the kind of I think the Dead Cells comparison comes in. You get 2 slots on the triggers for spells to cast. Some enemies can only be damaged by those spells, and they tend to be fucking hard. So, the way you earn the mana for them is to attack things. So, the more things you kill, the more magic power you have, and then you can blast them. So, I've had a couple of enemies, these gilded enemies, where I'm stuck in a locked room with them. And I can only damage them with the spell, but I've got to keep attacking them and hitting them to build it up to hit them. And it gets really fucking tense. This game is so hard, but in a good way. Like, it's very challenging. Everything wants to kill you, and you have to... It really makes you... A little bit like Symphony of the Night, it really makes you kind of engage with the mechanics to do combat properly. You know, you can't...
It reminds me a bit of Blasphemous, having a look at it.
It's got a huge Blasphemous vibe as well, yeah, just without the Catholic imagery. But yeah, it's really good. Oodles, you'll fucking love it. This is right up your street.
Yeah, you sent me a clip of it, didn't you?
Yeah. It's got that thing that there are walls with spikes on. You can just kick people into them for an instant kill.
Ooh,
if you're clever enough.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'd really rate it. I'm going to keep playing it, and I'll probably do like.
Is it going to be priced well?
So it's
15 quid-ish.
It is $15.99 on Steam.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
And I'll just check if it's on PS Plus. Moonscars, PS5. Because I know it's on Xbox and PC.
Rather than Switch.
No, it's on the PlayStation Store. For some reason, my PlayStation Store is saying it's in Hong Kong.
$69.99.
No, it's coming up saying it's 78 Hong Kong dollars. Why does Edge think I'm in?
What is 78 Hong Kong dollars in real money?
Yeah, right, hang on. Go to the right store this time. Yeah, 16 quid on the PlayStation Store.
Somebody's been on VPN, hasn't
No, which is what's weird about it. But yeah, if you just Google Moonscars, just look at the artwork is stunning. Like, it's one of these things where, I don't think it's doing anything particularly original as the game itself, but it's selling itself on its presentation. But it just so happens the game itself is very good. They say I will do a proper review once I've played more of it and hopefully get to the end of it. From what I've read from the reviews, the story will never make sense. No one can. It's so impenetrable. But you're not playing it for the story. You're playing for the combat, and the bosses are fucking wild. One where it's just hands and arms coming out of a wall, and occasionally a head appears, and you've got to jump on platforms around it to avoid being hit.
Oh yes,
like proper horrific stuff.
Proper Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. So yeah, play Moonscars. It's really good, and like I say, it's on Gamepass. It's worth trying for an hour.